Well, I'm here to do a BeeBeeCraft unboxing. So if anybody's out there, that's great. If not, that's okay too. I did make a junk journal, and so I'm gonna wait, and hopefully someone will come in and share my unboxing, which would be very cool. If not, I will unbox to myself and maybe make up an unboxing song. No, you wouldn't want me to sing, that's for sure. That would be very ugly. So I'm going to go to my channel and see if I am live. And I am. Why won't it let you subscribe to you? Hi, how are you? Whoops, I gotta mute myself. Thanks for coming, Cheryl and Mary Beth. It's so nice to see you. And Candy. Wow, you guys are awesome. So I'm part of the BeeBeeCraft conspiracy. I shouldn't call, hi Kat. I shouldn't call it a conspiracy, but it's quite the interesting thing that you can do. And I have left a description in the description box, I hope. And if not, I'll go back and check. Hi, Angie. How are you? So you can order, you get an email, and if all you need is 100 subscribers or more, and then you go through their catalog, which I'm going to say is very confusing, and there's just so much stuff. And most of it is jewelry making. Hi, Barb. How are you? It sounds like it's chicken pot pie weather where you are. Didn't you say it snowed up where you are already? So that would be chicken pot pie weather for sure. It's about that time. You know, when I used to live on outside of Buffalo, we always had snow before Halloween, and sometimes on Mother's Day too. So I wish you the best with the winter season coming. So you have to have 100 subscribers or more. And I don't know that there's a limit on how much you can order, but I ordered 3 things. And this is what's left of the packing slip, and you can't really see it. But I ordered the carving kit because I saw Jersey demonstrate that. And I got a bunch of stencils, the carving set, I'll open it. And then I got the tool making set, which is really bizarre. I mean, and I made a journal, and I want to share that with you. And it kind of expresses how I'm feeling. And I can't believe, okay. So I'm going to share that first, and I'm sure BeeBeeCrafts is not going to appreciate my journal, but you know what? I don't care. So I couldn't resist. So here's my newest journal. And this paper here is from a toilet paper company that's called Who Gives a Crap. And their toilet paper rolls are individually wrapped in this paper, but I save that. And and this graphic is out of the New Yorker magazine, and that kind of describes how I'm feeling. But this, believe it or not, is all from one day's worth of junk mail. This is truly a junk journal, and I managed to sew it together in one signature, and there was blood. I mean, I poked myself. So, and you can see I even covered up the little thingy. This is kind of glary, isn't it? Oh, that's even worse. I don't really have what you'd call regular real lighting, so maybe just turn it off. Haha, how's that? That's much better. Okay. So, and it's just junk mail. I mean, every last bit of it. And it's those flyers that you get. And I just cut them up and I whacked them off. And obviously, I put them in upside down. Oh, well, the cover's upside down. That's my life, right? Upside down. And so there's nothing in here but junk mail. And there's 5 seasons. When you're of my age, there are 5 seasons to the year. You have summer, you have fall, and in between fall and winter is called the open enrollment Medicare season. And those of you of a certain age, all of a sudden you get mail every day about different various Medicare programs. So I call it like the 5th season because it's a constant bombardment of Medicare opportunities. And because during open enrollment, you can switch plans. And it is very complicated. So I have a lot of that stuff in here. And I keep on getting a lot of stuff about voting, which I've already done. And anyway, and invitations to hear about. This one has a nice map, but this is an invitation to hear about a Medicare program. So anyway, so this whole journal is just that, with a couple of credit card stuff thrown in. But it's a good size one. I like these little flip outs, so I'm a little upset that I put it upside down, but I plan to cover all this. It's probably going to be a massive glue book, or I might try these stamps. That's Williamsburg. That's too bad. That's upside down. Something else to look forward to. Thank you. Working and lurking. Okay, Jane, I'm a great worker lurker. We should call the lurkers libs, lurkers in the box. Or as Janet Nash says, the quiet. Hi, Kimberly, the quiet listeners. So I even did one of these little doohickeys. So let me just open this package. Now, it does take a while. If you sign up for this program, I'm going to say it takes a good month, but it's coming from, I save all of the ads on cards. Yes, I do that too. Yeah. And I have made books totally out of tags. So I took it out of the box the bag that it came in, and I stripped it down to the raw bubble wrap, which is also. So let's get this unboxed. They expect you to make, I guess their expectation is for you to make a video a week. I don't know. The gentle listeners, yes, I like that. I did a recipe swap through Janet Nash's group, and I just got a recipe from Meljoy for apricot custard cookies, apricot custard crumbles. And I sent her a recipe for lo mein. So talk about 2 different things. And there was one of the ingredients that I was actually able to find on Amazon, something called custard powder, which I'd never heard of. So I'm hoping that I'm going to make it. It sounds very decadent and really, really good. So, ta-da. And this is let me save that for last because there's multiple pieces. So there's 16 stencils. And Lori, Painty Girl, she got die cuts that were really cute. I didn't even see those. And then Shelley was telling me that they have a stone carving kit, which I thought was really awesome. It took me forever to find the things that I ordered because I actually typed in the item number, and you can't find things by typing in the item number. So here are the stencils. which I think that I will maybe blot onto some of those pages in that journal, because you're not going to be able to see them. Let me see. Do I have any? No, I don't have any. But there's like 16 of them, and they feel pretty substantial. They don't feel like really too flimsy. And yeah, so we can stamp some of those. I have some paints here on the ready. So I got this. This was 1 water, and the price of the stencils was $9.29 if you were to buy it, which I didn't think was bad. And then the stamp set is pretty substantial, and I'm gonna carve something. I poked myself several times yesterday in the process of making that journal. I was watching Paige Fish from making her 3-tiered glue book from way back, and she was, holding the thing and poking it, and that's when you poke yourself. So you get these thingies to carve in. I mean, I've only carved in the erasers, the erasers that Mary uses. And Mary is just, the things that she carves are just unbelievable. And then you get sharp tools, which, if you hear a cat meowing in the background, that's what it is. It's a cat meowing in the background. It's not me. I swear, these cats, I could feed them all day long. I used to feed them at 5:30, and they've pushed me back to 3-ish. All right, so here we go. Nice little case, right? And of course, to open it, that's always a problem. I don't know about you, but I always have trouble opening these cases. Oh, this is ridiculous, Ian. How bad is this? There you go. It's still pretty hot here in Florida. Yeah, she is. It's still in the 80s. And so you get a scooper duper. You get a V. I guess a U. A chisel with a little rust. Hey, it came with rust. Yes, she did. She did. So we're all into rusting. I don't have to rust this because look, it came with pre-rusted. I'm sure they're not going to like this video. And here's some more rust, but that's fine. Is this a subscription or can you just buy? Yeah, you can buy. You can go. I have the link in the description. It's called BeeBeeCraft.com. And you can buy directly from them. And again, they have, I've never seen so many beads in my life, so many jewelry making stuff. Shelly from Crafting Mom has got the jewelry making stuff because she's a very talented jeweler. So here are the carving tools. So rust all the way from China, which I think is pretty cool. And it's June 6th. That's interesting. June 6th. June 6th. That's interesting. That's I want to say, I'd have to look this up, but I want to say that June 6th was VJ Day, Victory Over Japan Day. Anyway, I could be wrong. All right, so that's that. And the piece de la resistance, or now these, we don't need bubble wrap. I can get rid of it. Now you get a plethora of making thingies, and some of them are better than others. Rust is very good, Ron. Yes. I watched Gene Peters rust. Oh my gosh, amazing! And I have a couple of old white shirts that I was going to rust. All right, so this, and it took me, and I took this all out. I cheated, and then I repackaged it so I could do the official unpackaging. Sorry for the crinkle. I mean, you get a boatload of thingies. Some survived the journey better than others. And the cost of this was $13.59. The carving set was $9.99. And this mark making thing is $13.59. So you get a little rolly thing, another rolly thing. This thing is a little lopsided. It's kind of like tires that are out of alignment. It kind of got squished in the journey. And this is kind of got some shipping marks on it. You can try it out. This is this is interesting. This is a paint thing, but I don't know how I guess you put that, I don't know. These, I mean, look at all of this stuff. I mean, there's a whole itload of stuff. Now, the star kind of didn't make it. It kind of it had a rough journey. We can stamp it out, but I really feel sorry. Twinkle, twinkle, little star really took a beating here. So whoever was punching out this star must have had a bad day. I don't know. I don't know about you folks, but for me, when I look at products like this, I think about the people that are making them. And this is the maple leaf. It got a little squished. We could start singing "Oh Canada." Little daisy. I like the house. Christmas tree. Smiley face got a little nick in it, so he's not so smiley, but we can, and of course you've got to have a heart. Everybody's got heart. A moon. And that's that. But look at all of that. That's quite a lot of stuff, right? So we got all of these thingies. But wait, there's more. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. So we got a little, I mean, this screams jelly plate, obviously. And we got whatever this is. And we got this. And we got a little, this would be easier than taking your flip-flop off, because it's like flip-flop tread. These didn't survive, but these didn't travel very well. So I guess you should be out like so, but It yeah. And this kind of got a little bent, but I guess you could scrape that. And this, honestly, I'm not sure. I have no idea. I mean, it'll make a mark of some sort, right? Um, so, twirly thing. Woo! Oh, if you put paint on that one like that, you could paint your walls, I guess. And last, but certainly not least, some beautiful paintbrushes. A little crooked, but that's okay. One of these foamy things and one of these things. And I guess this is supposed to be like a mock Sumi ink thingy. It's got a little gunk on it, but that's all right. So that's that. So what do you think of that? That's a lot of stuff. Fun on your jelly plate. Yes, I know. And I should get out the jelly plate, but I was just going to slap some paint on some pages in that journal, or use the stencils a little bit, and then maybe try to carve something. Yeah, this. I mean, look, you can really. There's a lot of stuff in this kit, so I had taken it all out, and then I very neatly put it back in so I could make this grand unveiling, which I think is. Let you scare the hell out of the cat, because Lily jumps right in. She just jumped on the whole pile of it, because I have one cat that runs and hides, and another cat that meets and greets. And of course, the one that goes and hide is Tiger, misnamed. How many of you have pets that ended up being misnamed? I think that happens to many of us that have pets. My favorite, I think I've told the story before, my favorite cat was Maybe. And we named her Maybe because my father said maybe we would keep her and maybe we wouldn't. But we ended up keeping Maybe and naming her Maybe. My father did not like cats, did not like them at all. And of course, they wanted to be with him, which is, I think maybe because he opened a can of sardines every once in a while, that probably had a lot to do with their affection for my dad, for sure. All right. Shall we? As Barb Oman would say. Shall we? I got out a serious paint thingy. Enamel. This is really good for watercolor and stuff. And, so, and I have a set of paints over here. It's a folk art set, and it was a set of particular colors that are kind of subdued, but I kind of like these kind of colors. And it was a set, so they all came together. All right, Angie, have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And so you got those colors. And these two colors. This color. And then there's a medium gray, a charcoal black, and another, and there's a chocolate brown. And so that all came in one set. So let's try. This is gonna, I'm gonna try not to be pessimistic here. I'm gonna try to be optimistic. And let's do green. Put a little green here. Maybe. Whoops. All right. a little green, maybe a spritz of water. Spritz. I think spritz sounds like a Yiddish word. I love Yiddish. Yiddish is filled with onomatopoeias. I love the word. I love saying onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. It sounds like what it is. Just like the classic Yiddish word, schmear. You put a smear of cream cheese on your bagel. Oh, I am really upset about this being upside down, but that's okay. We will just journal right side up and then we'll just confuse people when they open it. Oh, God. I tell you, only me. I just do everything ass backwards. And this is just par for the course. All righty, let's see. Shall we do a Christmas tree? Whoops, oh dear, oh dear. All righty, let's mix this up. And well, that's not going to work. You guys are going to, oh my gosh. That's not even picking up anything. Oh my gosh, guys. This is going to be disastrous. All right. You hanging in there, folks? Oh, God. Well, this is acting like a sponge, which I guess it should, but all right, we're just going to. Oh, my God. Oh. Well, it's got bubbles. Let's do this. Maybe not squish so hard. All right. Oh my God. I don't know what to say, folks. All right. Let's pick up. Maybe we can just do something like this. Do, 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 do. All righty. Let's see. How about a red? Let's see, candy. My family is putting. Oh, I can understand that. Yeah. I get that. If my parents didn't want me to know what they were talking about, they would spell stuff. And I was not an auditory learner. So even to this day, if you spell something real fast, I'm like, what? I just don't, I don't process things auditorily, but that's interesting. I just think Yiddish is one of the most interesting. Yiddish is a combination. You can correct me, but it's a combination of German and Hebrew. Is that correct, Candy? At least that was my understanding. It was kind of a mixture of those two languages. Or am I totally wrong? No. Ugh. Well, that's not. I thought we would do a red Canadian leaf. Oh boy. Barbara, you're in Canada, aren't you? At least I thought you were. Oh, okay. Now, Canada is huge. So that would be like saying, you're in the United States. And so are you in Nova Scotia? Okay. But are you in Nova Scotia or? I don't remember. Oh, Manitoba. Oh, wow. Now Manitoba's, oh, I am going to show my ignorance right now, folks, so I apologize. Manitoba's to the west. Western part of the country. I feel I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I'm embarrassed. Well, it's not too bad. We got a bit of a lag here. Okay, so you're in the middle. Okay. All right. Well, that definitely would explain the snow. Eh? I've only been to Toronto a couple of times, and I've been to Montreal a couple of times. And last summer, and it seems like ages ago, because it's the last time I saw my son and daughter-in-law, I went to Nova Scotia, which, oh gosh, what a wonderful trip, I have to say. And I think I've talked about this. You can fly from Orlando, Florida, direct nonstop to Nova Scotia on Canada, WestJet Canada. That's a local Canadian airline. And it was great. What a trip. And we drove all the way up around Cape Breton and back again. They live in Boston, so they drove up from Boston. So we had a car, WestJet, okay. And it was a good flight. Now, coming back, I had to go through Toronto. But it was just a beautiful trip. We went in June, and just can't say enough about everybody that we met. Just everybody. It was just an incredible. We drank a lot of really good beer. We went to a lot of breweries. My son brews beer as a hobby, so we were kind of brewery hopping, and had some really great different types of beers, and of course fresh seafood and lobster. And yeah, I would love to go back, because no one went anywhere this year, that's for sure. So it was just, my brother came up from St. Thomas, and he got as far as Fort Lauderdale, and I didn't see him. But I don't know how many people have a black sheep in the family, or somebody that's just never gotten their act together. Well, that's my brother. So I never got to see him. But he's back in St. Thomas. He's lived in St. Thomas for 20 some odd years, so that's really his home. And blue. What do you think? How about a blue house with a little red, which would give us purple? But these are really hard to get paint on, and I don't know whether it's because the sponge is really dense. Well, obviously it's absorbent too. So you can see I'm having a bit of a So I guess it's probably better. It would be better to use it on a jelly plate because you'd already have the, you smear the paint on the jelly plate and then you would just dab these. So let's do this. And then I think we'll pop out a stencil. Well, that's not too bad. I like that blue though. Ooh. I'd have to say blue is one of my favorite colors. You see, you can't really. This water. I bought some really neat memorabilia kits that I want to share with you. Great brew up here in the north. Yeah. My son also actually he made mead. And mead is made out of honey, and mead is like one of the first alcoholic beverages ever. And you would think it would be sweet, but it's not. It's not that sweet at all. Yeah, I love all shades of blue. Well, I screwed that up. That was me. I zigged when I should have zagged. I'm going to do one more. Yeah, these are, well, I'm going to cover all of this stuff with others. Oh, that's kind of nice. You get a little swirl. Whoop, whoop. Paint with it. All right. Shall we do a stamp? I mean, a stencil. And I will maybe come back at a later date and get out the jelly plate. I struggle with the jelly plate. And when I watch all the crafters whip out their jelly plates and do all these unbelievable transfers and adding, I mean, it's just gorgeous. It's just so beautiful. And all I do is when I use the jelly plate is I get out my deli paper and I will make a deli paper, a sheet of one color, which I will then tear up and use in a journal as, different colored strips of paper. But to do, the other kind of stuff is just amazing. All right. Oh, look, there's a blank page. And here's some rice paper. All right. All righty. Let's see. So there's 16 stencils in all, and that's a lot of stencils. And they're pretty darn big. So let's try. Ooh, this one's really. Let's try this one. Okay. And I'm going to use a sponge. This is my last pack of sponges. I'm going to have to make a Dollar Tree run. I haven't been out. I haven't been to the Dollar Tree. I haven't really ventured out anywhere. Oh, I got to tell you about my Dyson vacuum cleaner. It was kicking out, it would, the motor head beater bar would stop would stop moving. And this was it was a stick rechargeable one, which I love that feature, but they call it the motor head on both. I mean, the big would stop rotating. And of course I Googled it, right, and tried to figure out what was wrong. And you take the thing apart and you clean all the hair out of it, and then you can take it apart even further. And I did that, and there was nothing in it. It was completely clean. There was really no hair, because my cats are like, they're short hair, but they shed, but not to a point where it would tangle up. And I have no carpets in my house. My house is completely tile and wood, and so there's no carpeting, and so the beater wouldn't work. And then there's a mini motor head thing for, like, I guess if you had stairs or furniture, whatever, and that stopped rotating. And when I would turn it on, they would rotate maybe for 10 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and then it would cut out. So I finally got in contact with Dyson, and I really thought I was screwed because it had been over a year since I bought it, but I did register it, and to my surprise, it was still under warranty. So I contacted them, and they said because of the virus, they had to close down some call centers, so blah blah. But I eventually, I guess, talked to somebody, emailed somebody, told them what the problem was, and of course they sent me back a video telling me to do all the things I had already done, which is fine. So I told them I thought it was the actual motor, because both of the cleaning heads, neither one of them was working. So that would, I could come to that conclusion that it was the motor, the main motor. So after a week of going back and forth, then all of a sudden I got a notice that they were shipping me a new motor head, which was the beater thing, and just the big one. And I'm thinking, well, that's not going to solve the problem. So that came, and of course I tried it, and then I called them, and again I got the line. They were, it's going to take a while. Well, I was on the phone for, I would say, a good half an hour before I actually talked to a human being, and I told him what was happening, and he said, "Will you do me a favor?" He said, "Will you take the motor head that we just sent you, and will you put it directly on the motor?" It said, so basically skip the wand or the tube, right? And I said, okay, I've already done that. I said, that's the first thing I did, but I said, I'll do it again. And I did it again. Of course, the new motor head did not work. Now, I had been working myself up, getting myself in a tither about all of this. So the next thing Doug says, well, we'll just ship you a brand new vacuum cleaner. And what could I say to that? So then I said to him, well, that means I'm going to, I have to, then they wanted me to return the vacuum cleaner that I had, which obviously is understandable, right? And they said, that means I have to go out. And he said, no, I'm going to arrange for UPS to pick it up. He said, you just have to pack it up. Thank God I had saved the original box that it had come in. I had stuck it out in the garage. And, a couple of times I would look at the box. It was on top of the freezer out there, so it wasn't in my way. But every once in a while I would look at it and say, you know what, I should really throw that box out. And I never did. So I said to him, I said, guess what, Doug? I even have the original box. And he said, better yet. So he put in 2 tickets to UPS because I had to return the beater head. And it said it would take a day to 2 days for them to pick it up. And the UPS guy was here today. And he picked up the broken Dyson. So I said to Duck, well, once they get it, how long it'll take me to get the new one? Again, I'm thinking, another 2 weeks and I won't have a vacuum cleaner. And he said, no, you'll have it in 3 days. So how could I be mad at Doug? Ooh. How could I be mad at Dyson? Yeah. I mean, the machine, it must be it must be a 2-year warranty because um, I have 9 months left on the warranty. I like that. That came out. That's a nice stencil. What do you think? I love that blue. I'm liking that. I have the same problem, man. Oh, I go on. I do. That's what I do. I speaker and craft, read a magazine. Um, yeah, and if you ever, I mean, down here, Barb, if you ever try calling Social Security, you might as well, pack your 3 meals. Pack a lunch, pack a dinner. Because you're looking at least an hour to talk to anybody at Social Security. That is a friggin' nightmare because you have to figure how many phone calls. Yeah, I'm hoping And I said to Doug, my new best friend, I said, well, it's a good thing that I have tile floors because I can sweep until the new vacuum cleaner arrives. Now, Doug lives in Chicago and he has pets also. So, I kind of got to know Doug and seemed like a nice young man. Oh, I don't know how young he was. But anyway, issue solved. And I am a great procrastinator. This vacuum cleaner was acting odd from day one. When I first got it, it kind of would cut out, and I just thought it was me, that I wasn't, depressing the on and off trigger correctly. And then it just got progressively worse. And I finally got off my arse and did something about it with a very happy. I tried to line this up, but I didn't very well. But, well, it's not too bad. I like this stencil a lot. This is definitely, and it's nice. It's thickish, It's not wobbly, so it's not too bad. I'd say this is a winner. So this gets 4 stars. BeeBeeCraft. This is a winner. The mark maker things, not so much, but this could be user. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah, Social Security always tells you they tell you they never phone you. That's just something they don't do. So if someone's asking for, that information, it's not legit. I mailed in my ballot. Oh, yesterday I got my Uppercase and Somerset magazine. Both of them arrived on the same day. Talk about a banner day. Jersey went through her Somerset, so I won't bother showing you that. But that magazine is just unbelievable. And Uppercase is going to. It wasn't in this month's issue, but this next, I guess. It comes out quarterly, I think, but in the next month, the next time Uppercase comes out, it's going to feature Defy, Carhart's organization, which I think is awesome because that organization is just phenomenal. And I think it's wonderful that it's going to be featured in a magazine like Uppercase. And if you have artwork, you can submit it. I mean, they have a whole process where you can submit artwork and stuff. I want to try to put a stencil on one of these busy pages and see how that is going to look. And I guess I could use I have this It's called vintage white. So let's use some vintage white. It's kind of dry over here. I need a dry spot though. All right. And see how that comes out. How are we doing there? Hi, Lucia. How are you today? Never heard of uppercase. Yeah, I can show it to you. Anybody want to see uppercase? Want me? Can I do a? Anybody see a quick flip through? It's kind of hard to describe uppercase. It's kind of a very unique type of publication. Um, I'll be right back in the jiff, and the cats are going to think I'm feeding them. I'm not feeding you guys. I'm sorry. No, don't get excited. I'm not feeding you. I'm sorry, guys. So it's called uppercase for the creative and curious. And they feature different artists and different techniques when they publish it. And they're very environmentally conscientious. They no longer ship their stuff in plastic, in plastic. It is shipped in a recyclable brown, like envelope, cardboard envelope, which, as a matter of fact, I used. This is the cover, and I cut this out from the envelope that the magazine was shipped in. So I've recycled this. And this is the cover of this, my Who Gives a Crap journal. And so I have, and then the toilet paper. These guys, they only sell toilet paper, paper towels, and tissues, and that's it. And then they build toilets around the world, because not everyone has a toilet. See, or clean drinkable water. Okay, so here is uppercase, and they always have great things. We are all better when we stand together. It's a beautiful. Again, it feels good. It's just one of those magazines that feels good, and they have these separate books that they send out that are just dedicated. So the next one is quilting. And I have the printmaker one and the ephemera one. And those are really cool. And then when you get a letter from them, a letter comes with the subscription. And if I can find it really quickly, I will show you what it says when you get it. I had the Somerset letter, so it was right next to the Somerset letter, which I like about it when you get the letter. It's got to be here somewhere. Of course, you can't find it, right? No. Can you ever find anything when you're looking for it? No. No. So, see is this right side up for you? So it tells me in big letters, and your subscription goes up to issue 57. Isn't that nice to know? What's even better to know is this is only issue 47. So I have 10 more issues coming. I must have bought a 2-year subscription, I guess. It's not cheap. It's $80 a year. And I have 3 issues left of Somerset. But the other thing about Somerset, they had a big sale on. And I went back on Somerset, and I want this light. I mean, I don't have really serious lighting. So let me see if I can't get a little light on this so it's not too glary. Someone said I should point it at the ceiling. Oh, well, that's not bad. If you could see any of us have, when we're crafting, you notice our desks just shrink. They get tinier and tinier. Yeah. Okay. So. And they just feature artists. And I love this. This is really cool. This collage thing, I love. This is so cool. Now, this is something that I would copy. And I have this work one too. So they have books and articles. Empathy is a boat that carries our creativity. And so there's a whole article about being empathetic. And then just beautiful features of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, London, United Kingdom. So the artists, here's somebody from Germany. So it's international. This is the Treaty of Six Territory. Native Americans. I guess this must be Canadian Indigenous people. And this is very interesting. I read this article, and it talks about motivating yourself to create. When you find yourself in a new normal, may you also find grace. And we're all kind of adjusting to the new normal. And there was a whole thing about again, creative career, late bloomers. Like I've always been a late bloomer myself. And then they do an alphabet thing. So this is the topic is language arts, and they go A through Z. And so they start with illusion and images and jargon and all of lyric and different things that have to do with, boom, onomatopoeia. Look at that. Art and design, so fingerprints of the spirit. Some just beautiful stuff. Just, it's gorgeous. And you get an inside up and personal look at artists, and they're dealing with the Black Lives Matter. And then you get these cards to subscribe, but they're nice cards, and you can obviously use them for, oh wow, look at that, for other stuff. That's a ceramics. And art therapy for art therapists. This is a really very interesting article. And that this has been proven, obviously, that art is very therapeutic. It is for me. And doves aren't everything. And I'll go through this. It's just a great publication. Here's all about empathy. It's okay not to be okay. Healing isn't linear. Ain't that the truth? Don't judge, be mindful, active listening. Art therapy with Ely. And again, absence of words. Another artist featured here. Yes, fingerprints of this, yes. Again, this is a magazine that, I come back to and I'll read an article and then I will go back and read another. And here's a whole thing on make, inspire, share, and tags. Look at all these tags. We just did a tag swap with Kathy Berg and Colleen. Make, inspire, share. Look at this stuff. This is gorgeous. Look at this. Creativity as self-care. Poetic self-portraits. I tried doing I did an artsy self-portrait of myself, kind of like it was pretty scary, just saying. Have you guys, anybody tried doing self-portraits of yourself? Or Zed? Yes, I'm in Canada. 0 and Zed. Zed is a great Scrabble word, just saying. Oh, look at these. Aren't these just gorgeous? Gorgeous. See, I haven't gotten this far, so I'll come back. Look at this self-portrait. This person just did beads and stuff to express themselves. That's a cool idea. Wow. Oh, look, a little embroidery, crewel work. Wow. See, look at that. That's a face. Do you see the face? Isn't that cool? Empty watercolor, paint things and shells. Oh, wow. Look at all these. It's okay to be sad. Are we okay? Am I boring you? Or are we okay? Feet. I drew my foot. I've drawn my feet on. Look at this collage. Oh man, I love that. Non-Latin type design. Arabic. That's beautiful. Look at that. Language and script have layers of symbolism, histories, and hidden narratives. Wow. See, this is something, obviously, Japanese. I don't even know what that is. Gujarati. I'm not familiar. But this designer's from Toronto. Huh. Oh, East Asia. I've never. Oh, she's gorgeous. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? But look at this. The art of writing. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I just haven't really. Bip and Tucker. Sew Op. I just bought a sewing machine. Oh, boy. If you can stay home and sew, slow art saves lives. B&T. And quilting, of course. Many of you are quilters. At the Defy auction, look at this. Isn't that cool? A zipper. Huh. That is really. I did this. I turned my books all around, hiding my voice. Anyway, that's a flip. Oh, I got a real cheap one, Mary Beth, because I didn't want to spend a lot of money, and so it's some off-brand named Nex, Nex. And during the Defy auction, Shelley Lynn and I ended up bidding on sewing lessons from one of the seamstresses. I can't remember her name now. And I couldn't figure out why Shelley was bidding, because she is an expert sewer. And I know this about her. And I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And so because of the lag, I lost the bid. She won it for, do you remember that? And I couldn't figure, and she won the bid at 55, and I came in with 58, but it was just because of the lag. It was right after her 55. So she won the lessons. And then afterwards, everyone was saying what a great, teacher this woman is. And so I was talking to Shelley after the fact, and she said that, well, I thought maybe she was buying it as a gift for somebody. And but it turned out that she was working on a t-shirt quilt, and she wanted some help from this. And I can't remember the woman's name. Selena, I think it was Selena, but she wanted some help with a t-shirt quilt. And she, this woman was saying it's really easy. And yeah, Selena. Okay, I did remember. Hi, Amy. It's good to see you. Did not. Oh yeah, she's serious. Yeah, I mean sewing her own clothes. I mean really. And so it turns out that she wanted this time with Selena to get advice on how to finish this t-shirt quilt. And yeah, I do too. Woohoos. And so she felt bad, and so she offered to give me some free sewing lessons. And we kind of hooked up on a private StreamYard, and it was kind of hard because I was really looking for lessons. Like, okay, here's lesson 1, and we're going to do this, and here's lesson 2. Because when you sometimes, hi Jean, sometimes you don't know enough to ask questions, and so I found myself. So I kind of sewed a little bit, but anyway, I mean, I can thread it, and I know what the bobbin is, and it's small. And all I wanted was to add some stitching to my journals, because I think that always looks so cool when someone stitches a pocket or puts stitching on a tag or adds a strip of fabric. That's all I'm looking to do. I'm not looking to, make a wedding gown or something like that, So anyway, it's all cool. And I'm sure if I get into trouble, I can just reach out to Shelley. But I just couldn't figure out why she was bidding. And it was just, I mean, it was back and forth, back and forth. It was like increments of, it was 50, 52, 50. And we was going, anyway. And if I'd only known, I would have backed off. I mean, but she was going to win that no matter what. So there is our rust queen. I showed some carving tools, Jean, that came pre-rusted, but they really weren't supposed to come with rust, but they came with rust anyway. So this is uppercase, and it's a very good publication with really in-depth articles, and it's just one of those inspiring eye candy type of Japanese hand sewing. Looks cool. Yes. Yeah. Well, I guess they call that slow stitched. So now I have a sewing machine, so I guess that's fast stitch. I don't know, but I can show you. I have it right under here. I mean, it's really tiny. And it has all the features, right? It's got 12 stitches. It even has a little light. And it runs on batteries. So if I wanted to go outside and sew outside, I don't know why I'd want to go outside and sew outside, but I guess I could. And it's got you can rewind the bobbin doohickeys here. And oops, push. So, and it's got a, foot pedal. I'm afraid to use the foot pedal because I don't really, want to go that fast yet. But Shelley didn't think it would stitch through cardboard, but I have stitched through cardboard because I was bound and determined to get it to stitch through cardboard. So I have I even stitched through cardboard and an aluminum can. So on a Cheez-It box cardboard. So, but I'm just playing around. But it's fun. Pants hem, a machine. Oh, really? They didn't want to do the pants? Well, so maybe that's what it is. I had to train this one, let this one know it was going to be doing thin cardboard. I thought I could stitch sip a little book through there, but it's not heavy enough to do that. And I got the thread that it came with, and I'm sure this is very cheap thread. So I'm sure if I bought a better thread, that might help too. Yeah, I used to hem my pants, and my mother would be, because I wouldn't know how to hide the seam, and it'd be, it was just pretty ugly. I remember I took home ec in high school, in junior high, and this is how divided society was when I was in school. Girls had to take home ec, and boys took shop, but girls could not take shop. I would have much rather taken shop than taken home ec, but that just was not allowed. That was just verboten. And so I stumbled through home ec, and we had to make a skirt as one of our, like a midterm or something. And oh my God. And it was just a simple A-line skirt. It was so bad. And I never got the zipper in. And the home ec teacher was a little ditzy, to say the least. At least this is my recollection of her. And this, we're talking, covered wagon days ago. And she asked me, she was putting grades in the book, and she asked me what grade she had given me. And I had never turned it in. And I lied. And I did not push my luck. I said, "Oh, you gave me a C." And I guess that sounded right to her. So she wrote down a C. And so that's okay. Oh, grade 7 an apron, and 8 a blouse, and 9 a skirt. All I feel your pain. I've been there, done that, Barb. And so I'm ready to tackle it again with my little, this doesn't even have a name, this nameless sewing machine. But if you go online, I got it on Amazon, and it was, I think there was a coupon or something. I got it for $67. And you made a coat? That's serious. I worked for a lady when I was a special ed aide before I became a teacher. This woman made all of her own clothing. I mean, it was. See, now, Kimberly, I would have loved that. Industrial arts, wood burning, that's what I would have loved to do. Yeah. And by the time my kids were in school, then the girls and boys, they could take, whatever they wanted. And they had ICAD, and they had, metal shop, wood shop, and all that neat stuff. But a shirt, not so much. Yeah, I admire anybody that can sew. That's just an awesome skill for sure. All right. Can I just show you some other stuff that I got, and then I will say so long? I got a flyer or a catalog in the mail, and they had some really neat kind of ephemerals kind of stuff. And I went through it, and of course I was going to buy a whole bunch of stuff. And then I went to their online website, and I was going to place the order online, and the website didn't work. So I was so leery of placing an order on a website that wasn't working. And I went back, for a couple of days afterwards, and tried to see if I couldn't access their online website. They had a Facebook page. So I went to Amazon, right? So what else? So I got most of the stuff on Amazon. And the company that put together this memorabilia pack is out of Edinburgh, Scotland. And I went on there. So I got some pretty cool stuff. So I'd love to share with you. So one of the packs I got was Titanic memorabilia. This is just awesome. I want to see if I can't get a little bit more light on this subject without us being totally. Let me see. Oh, that's not too bad. All right. So this was, I think it was $11.98, and it is unbelievably chock full of. I think I'm going to make copies of this stuff, and so it's kind of glary. No, you can't see that. They have a whole bunch of other memorabilia packs, which I've gone ahead and ordered. And the order went through in pounds, so I don't know how much it's going to be. But, I mean, amazing stuff. Little cards. Of course, this is all replicas, but this was stuff that was around. Both sides, information. This is just, I mean, I love this stuff. White Star Line, and they have the prices of the ticket en route to New York. This is third class rates are. Here is a letter. My dear brother. And then here is a fold out. Look at this stuff. Isn't this cool? All about the largest steamers in the world. I mean, this stuff is. So this was an actual publication, like a pamphlet that you could get. And here is Vinolia Otto toilet soap. Royal Majesty ship, the Titanic, is the largest vessel in the world. And then here is the this is a General Workers Union extending their grievances. Condolences to the relatives of the third-class passengers. And that's from the Dock, Wharf, Riverside, and General Workers Union of Great Britain and Ireland. Wow. And here is a identity certificate. And then here is one of the headlines. Memorial service will be held at Battersea Town Hall. I mean, this is so extensive. Here are the big prop engines, and here's some more of the statistics of the Titanic. I mean, I was so impressed with all of this memorabilia. It's amazing. It's very. And here's like a cutaway diagram of the ship. And this is really cool because they put it up against various buildings. The Bunker Hill Memorial, the Public Works, Public Building Philadelphia, the Washington Monument. St. Peter's Church, Rome, Italy. So they have the Titanic, and then they have all the various tall buildings and comparing to it in height. Now, the Empire State Building had not been built at this point. The Woolworth, isn't that cool? You still with me? Okay. And then you got this is literally the first class passenger list. And they give you, look, Gene, they rusted it. They even rusted the staples to make it look authentic. Isn't that cool? I actually touched it thinking it was duh. And so you have the whole first class list of the people. And there was a bunch of, the Astor family was on this from the Waldorf Astoria. Astors were on this. And then here's a postcard of a stateroom. And that's a picture of the captain, I do believe. And here is we have struck iceberg, sinking fast, come to our assistance. And they gave the position of it. That's when it was sent. And of course, more. That's the gym. And here's a launch ticket. And let's see what else we got. And here are third class rates in US dollars. There's a lot of stuff in this pack. I mean, I was amazed as I started to go through it, and it just kept on giving. Here's the menu for second class dinner. Tapioca consomme. That doesn't sound. Baked haddock, sharp sauce, curry chicken and rice, spring lamb. And here's a transcript of a register for transmission to Register General of Shipping and Seamen. And here's some music. Nearer my God than thee. And finally, I won't open, I'll just show you this. I won't go through this because I'm sure you're probably bored to silts. But here's the Daily Graphic, Titanic in Memorandum. 1 penny, published April 20th, 1912. Isn't that amazing? And this has got, it's just a special, and there's the picture of the iceberg. So 11, I think this was $11.98 on Amazon, and of course free shipping. So I thought this was really cool. And then I got they had these also. These are made in Austria. Shark sauce. I think was it shark sauce or sharp sauce? I can't. Let's go back and look. So this is the front of the card, and on the back of the card, right? Every card has a picture. And that's the first officer. Isn't that amazing? Can you see these? They're not too glary, I hope. But look at those. So every card has a different picture. Every suit, there's a different picture on every card. I thought that was so cool. I thought it's kind of weird, playing cards with. And I tried to make a copy of the cards on cardstock. They didn't come out too good, but I'm gonna start sending out more Happy Mail and just throwing these in. And then there was other cards that I wanted. They had like gangsters and mugshots and at that company. But so this is called Campy Creatures Deluxe. They glow in the dark. And I love this. Look at this. It had a seal on it, and it says, I don't know if you can read that. It says, sealed by fate. So this deck is not as impressive as the Titanic. But it does have monsters, and that's what I was looking for. And then it just has regular kind of faded, kind of interesting graphic. But then when you get to the what are those cards? The Joker. I mean, the Jack, Queen, and King. You've got monsters. You got the Invisible Man, the Mummy, Kojo. I don't even know that monster. You can't run fast enough. And you've got that graphic, which is kind of cool. And then you got the Blob, Man-Eating Plant, the Invader, the Beast, Tarantula, the Werewolf. So I thought those were kind of cool. The Monster, He's Alive and You're Dead, Vampire, the Swamp. Anyway, I thought these were kind of cute. Apparently these go with the game, so I picked those up too. So those are my recent purchases. Are we still good? How are we doing? Okay. Anybody interested in seeing the Beetle paraphernalia? I'll go through that really quick. When I saw the Beetle paraphernalia, I had half of this stuff for real. Didn't say it. I grew up with the Beatles. I mean, from the age of 12 until the age of 21, they were part of my, musical listening pleasures. Yeah. Man-Eating Plant, Rocky Horror, right? And I got to see them in concert at Forest Lawns Tennis Stadium because somebody knew somebody that got us tickets. And yes, those Beatles, yeah. And so I went with a friend of mine, and we had press seats. So we were down on the ground, 10 rows back from the stage. And the Righteous Brothers were their opening act. And I was so upset because people were screaming so loud that you couldn't hear them singing at all. So, but it was quite the night. And so I did get to see them live. I remember, I took pictures. I had a little black and white brownie camera, and I remember taking pictures off the TV of them when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. So I don't know how many of you remember the Ed Sullivan Show, but he would say, it's a really good shoe, I think. And anyway, so it was a variety show. And I remember taking, what other Beatles? I was thinking other Beatles. Oh, Beatles. Oh, yes. Well, if you remember my Inktober from last year, I did draw 31 various Beatles for my Inktober challenge. So here's just, ticket type of stuff. This is, I have to say, this is nowhere near as impressive. Ed Sullivan, yeah. Nowhere near as impressive as you couldn't hear them sing on TV either, right? Because people just were screaming. But you remember all those groups? Freddie and the Dreamers. Well, of course, the Rolling Stones, but the other minor groups. What they call that the British Invasion, where all those rock groups came over. I saw Freddie and the Dreamers on the Ed Sullivan Show because um, my ex sister-in-law worked for some ad agency in New York City and got us tickets to the Ed Sullivan Show. So I saw Freddie and the Dreamers. Oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Freddie. It was Herman Hermits, and saw them. Yeah, there's no variety shows on really anymore. I mean, I used to Carol Burnett show. Oh my gosh, was that not a funny show? They did some funny stuff on the Carol Burnett show. So here's the actual newspaper, right? And this is kind of neat because it's got other news, like Envoy held on drug charge. 12,000 scream their welcome. So this is after the Beatles have been to New York and come home. But now we've got Brit headlines, like another report flays Tory economic muddle. So we're talking about, we have a whole bombshell 3 was a private report on Britain's economic prospects. So we've got other news that's going on, which I find just as fascinating to read. You got the Beatles stuff, but it's a regular, it's got regular newspaper stuff. Billy Walker. Does your memory fail you? Things haven't changed. This was written on February 23rd, 1964. And here's an article about does your memory fail you? Scandal at the firehouse. We got British football. So anyway, this is really interesting reading because you got the Beatles stuff, but then you've got Brit news. And the girls are screaming, and then what's on TV for BBC, and them screaming and fainting and doing all of that. Gee, surprising forecast for Britain, right? Occasional rain, probably preceded by snow. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. And whoops. And then you have other just bills, when they're on stage, just Jerry and the Pacemakers. I remember them. Special pass. A little postcard. The Fab Four. This is a membership card, non-transferable. The Cavern, Liverpool, Mercy Beat. So it was a special little club for official use only. Wow. Anyway, just a lot of Beatles stuff, right? Does anybody remember the name of the first drummer for the Beatles? A little trivia question. Anybody? Before Ringo Starr, Mrs. Sweetens. And then there were a little Beatle fan book, Pop's Pick Super, and they had one edition for each one of the Beatles for 1 and 6. And Winter Garden Margate, another program. And that's about it. And here's a welcome to the fan club. Hope your efforts continue to please you because that's all that really matters to us. Thanks for the fab way you've treated us since the beginning of 1963 with the autographs of the 4. I was not a member of the fan club. Yes, Pete Best. Very good, Susan. Woohoo. That's awesome. Yes. Hi, Susan. That's so cool. So, and then you got some little cards. Some more of these little thingy-ma-watchem. And I remember my father saying that they would not last. Huh. Even today, I'm sure, you get into an elevator and what are you hearing on music? Michelle Mobile, so they're still playing Beatles stuff in elevators on music. So, well, listen, ladies, thank you so much. It's been a great afternoon, and thanks for allowing me to share my latest goodies and tell you my Dyson story. And I can't wait for my new machine to come in. And I have to make 3 videos for BeeBeeCraft, and I don't know whether I can count this one since we did other stuff. Um, and so I'll probably go back and just make a straight up, video, not live, and then just send it off because that's the obligation that you agree to get the free stuff. You've got to make 3 standalone videos of the products or the products that you received. So I'll do that and to fulfill my obligation. I don't know, so I'll do that. But anyway, thanks again so much for stopping by this afternoon. And my cats will be very happy that I will feed them. All I have to do is say tuna time and they will come running. So again, have a wonderful afternoon. Be safe, be good. And if you can't be good, be careful. That's what my mom used to say. So see you out on the internets. Bye.